Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dr Sammy and I'm popularly known as Dr. Sammy. But I want you to do something for me. If you are just visiting my channel for the first time, please kindly subscribe to my channel and also hit the notification bell so that anytime I upload wonderful, useful video for you guys, you'll be notified by YouTube. So today we'll be treating an interesting topic, which is what? Coordinate geometry. So hope you have subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Now, under coordinate geometry, we'll be treating distance between 2 points. Now, for instance, let's say we have a line. Let's say we have this line, a point. A point is, whenever you see a point is calibrated with what? X and Y axis. That's what we use to denote a point in mathematics or physics. So to locate a point in space, we use X and Y axis. So therefore this point, the value in which we locate this point is X and Y, and the other value we locate this point is X and Y. Let's say this point Q. So now what we'll be treating is how to get the distance between this point and this point. Now, but since we have 2x, then we'll label the point like this, and we have 2y. We'll label it x1, y1, x2, and y2. So now how do we get the distance between these two points? Or we need these two lines PQ. So it is very easy. This is the distance PQ. This is how we signify distance in mathematics. You put it in line. That line represents magnitude between P and Q, or the distance between P and Q. So PQ equals to square root. Now there will always be a change in x because there is 2x, and there will be change in y because there is 2y. Then you add them together, so equals to the x squared plus the y squared. So this is the formula for distance between 2 points, which is change in x squared plus change in y squared. Are we together? It's just like Pythagoras formula. So this is the formula. And note, change in x is simply x2 minus x1, and change in y is simply y2 minus y1. So therefore, if we put this value into the bracket, it becomes root. Now x2 minus x1 squared plus, it becomes, now we put value for changing y, which is y2 minus y1, and then square. So therefore this is the formula for distance. So now how do we solve questions under distance between 2 points? So I'll be bringing some questions, and then we'll be practicing this problem together so that we'll get deep understanding on how to solve various questions under this subtopic, which is distance between 2 points. Now let's solve some questions. Find the distance between the two points. So now we are asked to find the distance between these 2 points. It is very easy. We'll apply the formula. But before we apply the formula, we will label our points. So now this point, I told you the first point is always x1, y1. And the second point will be x and y. It will not be x2, y2, because it's the second point. Now what is the formula we use to get the distance between the 2 points of a line? This is the formula. It is very easy. Solution. When we apply the formula, it becomes, d, which is the distance between the points, equals to square root change in x squared plus change in y squared. Are we together? Then you also know change in x squared means x2 minus x1, and changing y means what? y2 minus what? y1. So we can solve for this thing together. Changing x is what? x2 minus x1. So therefore, what's your x2 here? Your x2 here is minus 1. So it's minus 1 minus, your x1 is what? Minus 2. So you put it back to minus 2. Are we together? Therefore, minus 1 minus times minus is what? Plus. So plus 2. So minus 1 plus 2 is what? 1. So our change in x is what? 1. Then we look for our change in y. Change in y also follows this format. It's y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1. You go to this bracket and you put the y2, which is what? 3 minus y1 minus 5. You put the bracket minus 5. Equals to minus times minus is what? Plus. So you become 3 plus 5 equals to what? 8. Now after doing this, we have gotten our change in x and we have gotten our change in y. So we put it back in the formula. So therefore it becomes d equals to root. Change in x is now 1, and change in x carry what? Square, you square it plus. Change in y is what? 8, and you carry what? Square, you square it. Therefore, my final answer becomes 1 raised to power 2 is what? 1. It means 1 times 1 plus 8 raised to power 2 means what? 8 times 8, and it is what? 64. So 1 plus 64 is what? 65. So our answer is what? Root 65. As simple as that. Now please let's take another question as point of what? Illustration. Question 2. Now find the distance between the 2 points. Minus 2.3 and minus 4.9 minus 2. Now feel free to pause this video and try this to show if you want to comprehend the first word, example or question. So you can pause and try this. Okay, so we solve. Solution. Now we are asked to find the distance between the 2 points. So the formula still remains the same. D equals to root change in x squared plus change in y squared. Now what is change in x? Change in x is just the difference between the two x, which is x2 minus x1. So change in x is just what? x2 minus x1. So to get x2 minus x1, we have to label our words bracket. I showed you this xy, the point go this way, this xy. And since this is the first word point, it will be x1, 1. And this is the second point, it will be 2, 2. So that's how to label the bracket. Now we have to solve our change in x. How do we solve our change in x? The formula is x2 minus what? X1, and x2 is what? Minus 4. Minus x1 is what? Minus 2. So therefore, we have to solve this. Minus 4 minus times minus is what? Plus. So plus 2. So minus 4 plus 2 is now minus 2. So that's our change in x. Now the next thing we look for is what? Change in y. So our change in y is also same thing, which is y2 minus y1. Now what is y2? Y2 is minus 2 minus y1, which is 3. So minus 2 minus 3 is what? Minus 5. If you point that to your calculator, that's what you get. Now we are done with getting our change in x and change in y. Now apply the what? Distance formula, which is change in x squared. Now these are change in x minus 2. It's kind what? Square, we put square. Plus change in y is what? Minus 5. It's kind what? Square, we put square. Now root minus 2 raised by 2 just simply means minus 2 times minus 2, then it becomes what? 4. Plus minus 5 raised by 2 is just minus 5 times minus 5, and it is what? 25. So 4 plus 25 is what? 29. So our answer is 29. And note, you can keep your answer like this. The reason why I'm keeping my answer like this is because 29 is not the perfect square, so I can't get the square root. So you can either further simplify to decimal, or you can further simplify to what? Solve form, just according to how the answer is in the word objective. So that's just how it is. Now let's pick another question as point of illustration. Find the missing value in the following point. If distance now find the missing value. So we have to look for what is the missing value in the point. It is what? X. And then we have to look for the missing value x. If the distance is what? 5 units. So you already know your d is what? 5. So let's solve this. It's very easy. So therefore the formulas remain the same. D equals to what? Root x, change in x square plus change in y square. So this is very easy. We already know our distance is what? 5 units. So anywhere you see d, you put what? 5. So the formula becomes 5 equals to root x square plus y square. Now let us look for our what? The x, which is what? Change in x. So it is very easy. Change in x is what? Which is x2 minus x1, x2 minus x1. So therefore, we have to label the bracket to get our change in x. Now labeling bracket it becomes what? Becomes x1, y1, x2, y2. So now x2 minus x1 is x2 is x minus x1 is what? 1. So that is. Now we are looking for a change in what? Y. Which is what? y2 minus y1. So y2 minus y1 is what? Minus 1 minus 2. So therefore minus 1 minus 2 is what? Minus 3. Now let's put this in the formula. It becomes 5 equals to what? Root. Now change in x is what? X minus 1 square plus change in y is what? Minus 3 the square again. So therefore we continue solving. Now 5 equals to root x minus 1 square plus minus 3 raised to power 2 is minus 3 times minus 3, which is 9. Now this place, once you have got into this angle, your aim is to what? To remove the square root. And how do you remove the square root? You square what? Both sides. So we are squaring both sides. So we are doing this to remove the square root. So it becomes 5 square equals to, and the root x minus 1 square plus 9. We square everything. Why are we doing this? To remove the square root. So we can get the value of our x. Therefore it becomes 5 square is what? 5 times 5, which is what? 25. Now the square can cancel the square root, and we are left with x minus 1 square plus 9. Now we can collect like things. Bringing 9 to this place, it becomes 25 minus 9 equals to x minus 1 square. Now 25 minus 9 is what? 16 equals to x minus 1 square. 16 equals to, now we have to what? Expand this bracket. There's an easy method you can use in expanding this bracket. It's very, very easy. So the method is that this x, we raise it to the power of this 2, it becomes what? X squared. This minus 1, you raise it to the power of 2, it becomes what? Plus 1. And this 2, you use it to multiply everything in the bracket, which is 2 times x becomes what? 2x. Times minus 1 becomes what? Minus 2x. So minus 2x. And we are done expanding this bracket. Now what next? What else do we have to do next? Collect like this. X squared, bring this 16 here. So it becomes plus plus 1 minus 16 minus 2x. So therefore, it becomes x squared 1 minus 16 is minus 15 minus 2x. So it's now x squared minus 15 minus 2x equals to nothing. Now we can arrange this, it becomes x squared minus 2x minus 15 equals to 0. Arranging this properly. Now after arranging this properly, this is what? Quadratic equation. And then there is a method we can use to what? Solve any question like what? Quadratic what? Equation, which we call what? Factorization method. Now factorization what? Method. Now this is very easy. It's easy to what? Factorize. Now to factorize this equation, the first thing you will do is that let me write it. X squared minus 2x minus 15 equals to 0. To factorize this equation, you bring down the middle term first, which is what? Minus 2x. After bringing out the middle term, you equate it. Then you multiply the last term with the first term, which is minus 15 and x squared. Minus 15 and x squared. Now, which one we will multiply? We multiply this, so we put multiplication under it. This one, I just brought it down, so put what? Addition. Therefore, what do we do with this? You look for two numbers you multiply that give you minus 15, and two numbers you add that will give you minus 2. What can the number be? Okay, the number can be 3 and 5. So therefore, it can be minus 3 and 5, because if you multiply minus 3 times 5, no, I think minus 5 and 3, yes. If you multiply minus 5 times 3 to give us minus what? 15, then minus 5 plus 3 to give us what? Minus 2. So this is the what? Number, which, the two number which, if you multiply it to give us minus 15, and if you add it to give us minus 2. Then what do we do with these two numbers? We use these two numbers to replace the middle term in the equation. So it becomes x squared minus, instead of writing down this middle term, you write this two term, which is minus 5x plus 3x minus 15 equals to 0. Now, okay, so now to factorize this quadratic equation, you want to group them in twos to factor them out. Now we have grouped it in two this way. So grouping them in two, these two factors, or these two you have grouped together, what will you do? You look for the common terms in this. What are the common terms? X. So x is the common term. You write it outside and you open brackets. Now, the first term here, you divide it with the common term, which is x. So you are left with x minus. Now the next term is what? 5x. You divide it with the common term, which is what? You are left with 5. After that, what's the next sign? Plus. You drop it down. Now this one we grouped here, you have to say what's the common thing between these two terms? It is what? 3. You write common term out, then you open bracket. Now the first term here, you divide it with the common term, which is 3x. It is now x minus 15, we divide it with common term, which is what? 5. Now to what? Verify if you are correct, your two brackets will be what? The same. If you have same bracket, it is what? Correct. Therefore, since we have two same brackets, we choose 1. We put this x plus 3, the common, we put it in bracket. And since we have two same brackets, we pick what? 1. It is now x minus 5 equals to 0. So this one now, what do we do to get our x? I have to look for the value of x. Now, what do we do? Let x plus 3 equals to 0. You relate each bracket to 0, or x minus 5 equals to 0. Now, after you have done this, you collect line to get your x. X is minus 3, or x equals to 5. Now, look at this. In your question box, if you only have one term, like if they just give x is 2, ax is 2, bx is this, c what? X is this. What do? You pick the value in which what? X is positive. So this one is what? Positive value of x. So therefore your answer is what? 5. So that's this. So the value for x is 5. You pick the positive value for x as the right answer. So now we move down to the next question. We move down to the next question. Now we have now look at this question. If 2 points, look at the 2 points, this point and this point. Distance is this. Now we have to what? Find the value of n. Find the value of n. Now this question too is very easy. Now you recall the formula for what? The distance between 2 points is what? D equals to root change in x squared plus change in y squared. Now they told you the distance is 3 root 2. So the value of this d is what? 3 root 2 equals to root. Now change in x squared plus what? Change in y squared. Now we have to look for change in x and change in y. To get your change in x and change in y, you have to what? Label this bracket x1, y1, x2, y2. Now therefore, our value become change in x is x2 minus x1. The difference between the two values of x. Now x2 is what? m1, sorry. No, this is just like m is taking note. It's not m1. So m minus m2 is x2 is what? M. Then x1 is what? Minus 2m. So m minus 2m is just like 1 minus 2. So it will be what? Minus m. Please take note of this. Now we move down to the next, changing y. Now changing y is what? y2 minus y1 equals to. Now y2, we pick the value for y2 minus 5 minus y1 is what? Minus 2. We put it in bracket minus 2. Now minus times minus is what? Plus. So it becomes minus 5 plus 2. Minus 5 plus 2 is what? Minus 3. Now we have gotten our change in x, we have gotten our change in y. We put it in the what? Equation. So it becomes 3 root 2 equals to root change in x is what? Minus m squared plus change in y is now what? Minus 3 squared. Now we put this 3 root 2 equals to minus m squared just minus m times minus m, which is what? M squared plus minus 3 squared is also same thing, minus 3 times minus 3, which is what? 9. Now after that, whenever you go to this point, you will what? You square both sides. Why are you squaring both sides? So in order to cancel the word square root, so we can get the value of our m. So the next thing to do is to what? Square both sides. So this 3 root 2 equals to root m squared plus 9. So we are squaring both sides. Square both sides. Square both sides. So therefore it becomes to square both sides. To square both sides. This square will cancel this square root. So we are left with this. Now the square will affect each term separately. So 3 squared is what? 9. Now the square of root, are we together? The square will always cancel the root. So it's just 2. So times 2. So therefore we have squared this word, bracket 3 squared and root squared. So that's just equals to m squared plus 9. So 9 times 2 is what? 18 equals to m squared plus 9. So collect like this to get your m. So it becomes 18 minus 9 equals to m squared. So therefore 18 minus 9 is what? It's 9. So equals to m squared. Square root both sides to what? To get your what? Value of m. So m equals to, whenever you take root of any perfect square, you have to add plus or minus to answer. So square root 9 is 3. So therefore my answer is now plus or minus 3. So that's the value for what? n, which we are asked to look for. So if you enjoy this subtopic under coordinate geometry, please kindly what, subscribe to my channel. Do it now so you won't miss any useful video I'll be what, uploading anytime, any day. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. I love you.